Yeah, I'm gonna tell people join the stream so I can get the tips and tricks because I see that we have a new content creator in my faction, and I do want to help her out with a few tips and tricks. Because as someone who's played my faction since 24, I've noticed that there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't know about, and I want to try to get as much as I can. It's because there, like I said, there's some things that not content creators are not talking about, and they're not saying like what we know about it because they claim they know everything about it, but then really they don't play this mode as much as we do. They don't know how much grind it takes like us. So I am I'm just gonna give some tips and tricks to really help new players that are into my faction that don't know much about the mode, but with these advices that I can give, it can help out with this. So just wait for people to join the stream right now while I'm gonna just scroll around here. Because I just did the Rumble events. Those were pretty tedious, I would say, to complete, but I did beat it. I did get it done. I did complete them. I got the free packs. I did open a couple of those free packs. I opened Super Series 2. I opened Danger Zone. I pulled open Super Pack. I didn't get anything necessarily good besides Kelly from Danger Zone. It was a duplicate though, so I'll just take the MFP from that. But yeah, nothing much really. There were basic packs really, so like what else do you expect? But yeah, pretty much. 24 cards away from the next level 15. And then yeah, I have like every single evil card in the game that I didn't miss any of them. So it's just this Shawn Michaels evolves to an amethyst. So yeah, I I was on Tokyo Punch stream and I even said it like when I'm done with the Rumble, I'm gonna go live for a little bit. But I want to do it to just get some to help Lyra out because I know Lyra is new to my faction and she doesn't know like much about it. But I can definitely help her out with it because us as a community, we have to come together and we have to help everybody out. Because if we help each other out, a lot of people are gonna be like into my faction, if that makes sense. So I'm going to flip the screen right now. So here I am on the loading screen. Now, one thing I'm going to just tell straight up: the ringside pass is a key part of this. So I'm gonna go to season one, for example. So I know most of you guys have season one. So a tip I'm going to give you guys is for VC, do not spend your VC on cards or card packs. Now, I say this because I even made this mistake myself where I spent all this VC on card packs and cards. You do not want to do that. You want to save as much VC as you can to go towards the island. Now, why you want to go towards the island? Because these people are grinding the island because there's a grinding method in the island. And using that grind method in the island, you can get you can get more VC from the VC you get from the ringside pass. So if you save up this amount of VC from the first season and the second season, you'll get a lot of VC to boost up your character stats. And the higher you are, the better of a chance you are winning match more quickly. Now, MFP, that's a different story. So for MFP, I wouldn't really recommend spending it on card packs. I'd rather just save into the card market because while they are a little bit more expensive, it's better than just opening packs, honestly. Because like you're grinding for all these MFP and just to get just open packs, you pretty much not get anything. And another thing is you get free packs for grinding it out. Like you get a touch of madness basic pack, you get an undeniable basic pack, you get another one of these. Like you get a couple. There are not a lot of free packs, but there are some free packs you can get from the ringside pass. That's one benefit of the ringside pass is for my faction players. This helps out a lot because then people don't have to grind it out like a madman. They can just open those free packs and hope for the best. Now, one thing that I don't really recommend new players do is just focus on Evo cards. Now, evolution cards are like cards you can evolve to other ranks. Now, I would not highly recommend you focus on these. I would just recommend just if you want to use like this Roxanne Perez, if you got the starter pack and you got Roxanne Perez, you can use her, but like you'll use her a lot to the point where you'll be surprised when you evolve her to like Sapphire and a Ruby. But like, don't be like paranoid when you realize that she could evolve to a Ruby. Don't panic about that. Leave her as an Emerald, and then when you want to evolve her, take your time with it. So now, card market. This is something I want to say. I am actually learning this myself. Now, I'm gonna put Legends One for example. I do not have the gold cards for the cosmetics. Now, why did I not have this? It's because the cards don't really mean much in the card market. These cards don't mean much in the card market because like these silver cards, you're not going to use any of these cards down here. You're not using any. You're going to use these sapphires. And now we have amethyst and rubies. You're going to be using these cards. Sure, these could be for future live events, but then again, like you could take your time with it, and I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. But you want to invest your MFP or VC because now VC. I'm saying it because if you grind the island, you get good enough of a VC, you can get maybe the Undertaker 20. Because with the grind method, you can get like around 10K an hour. So if you grind 5 hours on Monday and Tuesday, for example, that's 100K VC. So basically, you can get the Undertaker for cheap, and you'll have another 15,000 to save up for another purchase of a card. But my advice, just do not spend VC on packs. Do not. Because using on VC, sure you can get some MVP back, but in reality, like I'd rather just spend the VC on the card in the card market. Because with the MVP, you can save that towards a box for a promo. Token market, I'm not really token market is really it's really up to preference. Like if you wanna now I will get to this though. Some of the cards you will need, like you need this Inamora from the token market. You need this Rin Sinclair from token market. You need some of these cards for matches in the token market for like World Tour, for example. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit, but yeah, some of these cards you're gonna need for requirements. So it's better to just use your tokens wisely and just use it for those cards. I'll get to that in a little bit. So yeah, one way to so you don't need to spend money on this game. You do not need to drop $100 or $50. If you just grind the island, you can get the amount of VC you want for a card in the card market. So yeah, so my advice, if you want to open packs, just either use MFP or just grind for free packs. And I'll get to that also in a little bit. But VC, you want to mostly use VC for the card market. Mostly use VC for the card market because you'll actually invest your VC for the right stuff. Now, live events. This is something that is a good thing. Why do I say not to spend MFP VC? Because you get free packs. Like here for tomorrow, you got Roman Reigns' birthday bash. You get 3 free packs. For Bray Wyatt, you get another 3 free packs. Like May Smash Dance, forget about it. Look at all these free packs you get just for completing the event. It's all absolutely free. There's nothing restricting you. You can use any card you want, and it's yours. Now, these TV main event ones, comes in handy because for these ones, these are called TV main events. This is where you could take a striker, for example, to get Shawn Michaels. If you open a free super pack card pack, you can get a striker. It will take you a couple packs, but you don't need to grind like a madman. So there's that. And there's other live events here. Now, some of these are exclusive to Ringside Pass. Like some of these are like this one, you need all 3 Ringside Pass cards. You need this Ringside Pass. But like you see this one, you need Kelly from Ringside Pass to get a basic pack. But there's a lot of these live events that are pretty easy to grind for. Besides these ones I wouldn't recommend doing if you're a new player because these ones you're gonna have a hard time with. But yeah, there's a lot of now I want to get to these. So earlier on when the game first came out, we had these events. Now, these events, it was hard to get these cards. So my advice for these, do not because The timer says, hold on, let me zoom in real quick. It says 70 days. Because it's 70 days and to go till August, don't push yourself to to get these cards for Drew McIntyre. Don't push yourself. Instead, take your time and grind it out. You'll have time, and because you can grind VC, here that's another thing. If you grind like 5 hours, you're basically grinding for a sapphire. Now I know people are gonna tell me, but Christian, for this one you need five sapphires. For this one you need five sapphires. For this one you need five sapphires. Again, I'm gonna tell you, those expire till August. You can literally grind a day to get a sapphire. Sure, I know it's tedious, but at the same time, is you gotta think about it. You don't need to do it on back-to-back days because again, you have like 3 months to get these events done. Like these two, you can just get in 2 days, and these sapphires are yours. This one, you can grind five. You can grind 5 hours and get around like two each, because they're 20,000 each. Yeah, you literally grind two each and just have a card left, like another 20,000 left to keep. Undeniable is different because you need eight sapphires. So that's basically a day per sapphire. It's like 8 days. But again, like I said, those cards you can literally take your time with and grind it out. It's not like they're pushed. It's not like these events here where it's like they're about to expire and you need to go and get these cards. It's not like that. Here you have like a lot of time to get these cards. So one of the key things about this is time. You want to focus on time and be wise about your purchases. It's I can't stress that enough. You have to take your time with the purchasing of certain cards and don't push yourself. You cannot push yourself because then you'll push yourself too hard that it's going to come back to haunt you in the end. Believe me, that happened to me a lot. I don't want to talk about it because I'm trying to help out, but yeah, this happens to me a lot. I remember in 24 and 25, this happened to me where I'd be focusing on like a couple of things and it literally got to the point where it literally I just couldn't handle it and I had to like take a little bit of a break a couple times of grinding. So yeah. Now faction wars. Here's a little tip. You see right there, I'm a investor deck. This is the deck you want to get. Now it's a little grind, it's a small grind, but the more you play faction wars, the more better you'll get at it, and the more better of decks you're gonna get. It doesn't matter to me what like after you unlock investor deck, it doesn't even matter what deck you unlock because investor deck is the deck to go to. And I'm gonna explain why. Because if you go over here, so I'm gonna pick out this thing for example. If I don't want any of these, if you back out and click yes, you get 150 free credits just by exiting out. The only time that does not work is when you fight the bosses. When you fight the bosses and you back out, you don't get the extra credits. It's only after those kind of rewards you get before they fight the boss. That's a little tip I want to give you guys. Always pick investor deck. If you don't have investor deck, grind out faction wars a little bit until you get investor deck, and always pick investor deck. Always. Like when I found out the investor deck is the best one to use, I always go for investor deck. It'll help you get more faction wars cards because those are gonna be for 11s. Now, World Tour. Now, this is going to be interesting because a lot of people do not like how World Tour is. I'm just say right now, do not. If you're a new player like Lyra, do not do Berlin. I cannot stress enough because the fourth chapter has some of the hardest matches ever. Now, the only way this could be done is if you watch TH Jamie's video because he gives a perfect way to get this done. But you just don't do Berlin yet until you know how to beat it. Now I know there's a lot of hard matches too. There's the handicap match with Tony D'Angelo's Lorenzo, but that's a little bit easier because it's not like with the Giants. Chicago though, that one is a tougher one because you're gonna have to face a couple of higher tier cards. Like you have to face like a Dusty Rhodes, and you have to face like a fucking Cody Rhodes. Now I'm gonna give you a tip, another tip here. For the Gauntlet Eliminator match for El Grande Americano Sapphire, you're gonna want to use I think you use. Let me see. I think I use Sami Zayn for this one. What's good, Edge plays? I think I used Sami Zayn for this one, but I can't remember. I think I did use Sami Zayn for that one. And then for a Turmoil, I used Becky for this one. I don't remember, but I want to say I used it. Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn are the most important cards to have in this match. Match 3 and match 5. You want to always have Sammy and Becky from Superstar Series 1. Like this card right here, this Becky Lynch, you're gonna want this card right here. You're understanding saying why would you want these two cards? For Becky, it's simple. Because for Becky, she's a technician and she can damage the arms. If you damage the arms enough, you can get a tap out. Now, for Mark Henry, it's gonna be tough because he's a giant. So that's why with Becky, you want to go outside the ring and just hit diving attack from the announce table to the opponent on the ground. If you do that, it's going to build your finisher more faster. So you can, and then when you activate the signature, it's going to add another finish. So then, when you have the super finish ready, you can hit Mark Henry with it, and it might not drain his archetype, his armor fully, but it will damage it a bit. The more you damage Henry, the more armor it's going to go down. Now, for Sami Zayn, you pretty much want to use him for the okay, wait, now I'm memorizing it. So the turmoil match is the one you have to win by count out. That one you want to use Sammy or Becky, but I'm also use Sammy for that one because um was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. So for the turmoil, because it's by count out, I use Sammy because he has a fast drop kick and he has a pretty quick move set. So he can get that done. But for the eliminator, for this El Grande Sapphire, you want to use Becky Lynch. For match. So let me just make this clear. So for match 3, you want to use Becky Lynch. Match 5, either Becky or Seth. I cannot stress that enough. I played match 3 and 5 with Becky and Sammy, and they both made that match more easier for me. Now, World Tour is a good mode. If you're able to get most of these regions done, you can get a ton of Persona cards. I'm going to show you the Persona cards you can get from World Tour. So by Persona. So you get an elite. So you get 3 elite action figures. You get The Rock, Jade Cargill, and Seth Rollins. You get a Seth Rollins 15. You get an RVD 97, which is a really good card. Really good card. Pain Train Locomotion and Dive Bomber level 3, where it's still like be level 2. And then you get a CM Punk Amethyst card. These are free Persona cards you can get by grinding World Tour. So yeah, there's that. Trying to see what else is there to talk about before I get out of here. I'm gonna do weekly towers. Now weekly towers, it's self-explanatory, really. You could take any card you want and you're facing a tower of opponents. You can take any card you want from here and you could just take them and just defeat the opponents here and you'll get some credits, you get some packs, some cards. It's gonna rotate every week. So every week you're gonna get an MFP, then a card pack, and then tokens, and then the card. It's gonna rotate like that. So that's going to be modifiers and stipulations. So you always want to press. So for PlayStation, I believe it's triangle. For Xbox, is Y, and then for Switch 2 players, it's X. You want to go into the listing and see what the modifiers are, so that way you know what you're going to get yourself into. And now they're going to give you evil cards, which again, you don't really want to focus really on the evil cards. Just get the evil card, and then just don't worry about it until like you have like free time. So the only way you want to evolve excuse me, if you want to evolve the evil, like you want to evolve Roxanne Perez, for example, wait until you have free time on you. Like if you have free time, you have the card, you got all the Persona cards for that you got right now. Like for example, you got the CM Punk, you got the Jay Cargill, you got the Drew McIntyre, you got those Persona cards, and there's no other live events to qualify for the time being. Now you have free time and you want to play my faction more. That's when you want to evolve these cards. That's when you want to evolve these cards. Now for Jey Uso and Joe Hendry, it's going to be difficult, and I'm going to show you why. So you know how last year you were able to evolve any card that had pinfalls because you could do Iron Man matches. That is not the case in 2K26. In 2K26, you cannot get the multiple pinfalls. Once you get one pinfall, that is locked in. Like you can do for Jay, you also need 60. You can go for 10. So you have 0 out of 60. You can go for 10 pins, and the only pin that will count is the one pin you did before you had the other nine. I know it's ridiculous, but it it's a it's a hard grind. Like for Joe Hendry, I have to grind faction wars to involve him. And that was a pain. But yeah, a little bit of a tip. So I'm gonna show you guys what I got. I'm gonna show you guys what I got from this free pack. Let's see what we get. This is an example because this is me grind a live event. Let's see what we get. We get nothing, and we get a Ricky Saints. Okay. So yeah, that's gonna happen. Sometimes you're gonna open a pack. You're probably not gonna get anything really, but yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything I could. So I'm gonna lay down the top five important, like the most important things. Number one, grind the ringside pass. And what I mean by that is grind for the tokens, grind for the VC, and grind for MFP. VC you want to spend on the island to boost your island character stats so you can grind for more VC. And then for MFP, you want to save your MFP that you get. And then at that point, you can also get free packs. Number two, spend your VC and MFP wisely. Think about the live events on what the card requirements is. Like right now, you need Naomi. You want to try to see if you can save enough MFP or VC. You want to spend your MFP or VC wisely. Like, do you want to spend VC on here or do you want to go open packs with VC? It's highly up to you. I'm just giving you advice, but in reality, it's up to your choice. Number three, do not worry about Evo cards when you're busy focusing on other key parts of this mode. Like if you're focusing on live events, do not focus on evolving your cards. Only focus on evolving your Evo cards when you have free time on you. Number three, I believe. No, number four for faction war. Wait, no, it's not for World Tour. It's for live events. Excuse me. Live events. Number four. Look at for live events that have free packs. You don't need to worry about all these events if you don't qualify for them. Just worry about the free packs. Now, why do I say focus on the free packs, not the card ones? Mainly because like if you're a new player and you're not like you don't really care that much about these numbers games, you don't care about the boss battles, you can only you and it's mainly because you don't qualify for them. There's a lot of free packs you can get without a card requirement. Like you have these quick swap smash that you have normal smashes dash. You have a birthday bash for Roman Reigns, which is just a sapphire card you need. Like there's so many live events that you can do for free rather than just having open packs. So just look at the live events, see what you qualify for, and just do those events. And then keep grinding out the game, like grind MFP, grind VC, and soon you'll get the live event cards. Now, the final one, number five, is the investors. You want to always pick investor deck once you unlock it in Faction Wars. Why do I say this is important? Because for you can get Faction Wars cards, which can not only grow your collection, but also because you need these cards for you're gonna need these for future live events. Like you need this Oba Femi right here to qualify for a oddity event, which is not for Eddie Guerrero. And very soon these events are gonna be needing like you need Noam Dar for a world tour match. Like you're gonna need some of these cards for future live events or even future world tour matches. But yeah, that's pretty much it for what I have really. I just want to get that out the way. So I hope that Lyra was on the stream and she learned something from this. I know I was rambling a lot, but I'm trying to get everything as much as I can. So with that being said, the final boss is out, and I will be back on 2K Punch stream. Not now, right now. Let's go.